What is up, y'all? It's your boy, Greg. Wait, let me try that again. Hey there, DMs. It's your boy, Greg. Yeah, no, lame. Anyway. Hi, guys. Flying solo this morning on a bit of a brand new experiment. Not that the, Brews in the Shackled City isn't already an experiment, but I was getting ready to do my weekly prep, and I realized, I'm like, wow, I wonder if other dungeon masters would be interested in checking out the kind of prep work that I do. I am, for those of you who don't know me, who might be joining in this stream for the first time here, my name is Greg. I am a professional dungeon master with Mastermind Adventures. They're based out of Massachusetts. I'm based out of Los Angeles. And right now, on Monday nights at 7 o'clock Pacific, I run a ongoing weekly live gameplay live stream for D&D 5th edition, running the Shackled City Adventure Path. Now, this is a classic adventure path written by Paizo Publishing back before they had created Pathfinder. Actually, I think this was kind of like what inspired them to start building Pathfinder as the Adventure Path series that they had. At the time, they had the publishing license for both Dungeon and Dragon magazine, two of the most venerable publications in the gaming industry, and they had that material, and they wanted to do something really interesting and really kind of unique. So they started serializing a campaign, a series of adventures for a campaign that took players from levels 1 to 20. And the Shackled City Adventure Path was the first of the Adventure Path series, and Life's Bazaar, the adventure that I'm running right now with the Brute Squad, was the first adventure in that series. So this is... running this has been a bit of a labor of love for me. The first adventure was published in March 2003, and I have every issue of Dungeon I basically have every issue of Dungeon from when they started with 3rd edition all the way on till it ended. Same thing with Dragon magazine. They're all sitting down in the office at my theater where I keep most of my collectibles now, because I get a shelf, for my D&D stuff. I get a shelf. And a couple of other books spaced around randomly that I've brought back up, but mostly for, I got my D&D stuff, I got my Red Sox stuff, I have some John McClane stuff because Die Hard is a Christmas movie, damn it. And underneath the raptor mask, that is Andy Serkis's head. Yeah, that's true. Or rather, a bust of Andy Serkis. Ask me sometime how I got that, and well, better yet, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies. How about that? I just had a friend that worked in makeup and costume design, and for my birthday one year, he was like, hey, you want something cool? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he pulls out this plaster bust that is Andy Serkis's head, and right now I have a raptor mask on him because, why not? The raptor mask is always fun. Sometimes I put the raptor mask on when I'm doing theater stuff, and I call myself the producer raptor, because I can be a very bored and lonely man sometimes. Anyhow, I'm trying to get the chat fired up here. I know that this stream was originally scheduled to start at 11. Well, it wouldn't be a stream without technical difficulties. So You know, it is what it is. But we're up, we're running, everything's going now. I'm very happy about that. And let me join in on. Let me get the chat app going here because I would love to see if anybody's actually watching this right now. Honestly, it doesn't matter that much because I will sit here and talk to myself for 2 hours just because. But if I can have somebody to talk to, and if somebody's out there trying to talk to me, I definitely want to be monitoring it. So, yeah, I totally didn't have the chat app up yet, and I apologize. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, I can allow that. Always have two-factor authentication up on your security. Always. It's so weird. I'm trying to watch myself, but my camera's right there. I got to pick one and look into it. You know, hashtag live stream problems. This is actually part of a greater effort that I'm starting up, by the way, to just do more. You know, behind the DM screen is going to be the first of a couple of new live streams that I want to start doing regularly, mostly because having a camera on me and saying that I'm going to do a certain thing at a certain time and then have a camera on me for accountability to do it gets me motivated to do things. So tomorrow afternoon, I actually want to do, or I'm going to be starting a live stream on the unsexy side of an acting career, or the unsexy side of a television career. So you get to sit and watch me do my casting submissions and go through and see what casting breakdowns look like. It's not nearly as interesting as it sounds, at least I don't think so, but you might find it fun. And then also, well, tomorrow I'm going to talk mostly about all the new opportunities within the, sorry, it needs my TFA again, or 2FA. Boom. Okay, cool. And there's a CAPTCHA on top of it. You guys are killing me. All the security. I feel so secure right now, let me tell you. All the security. How did I miss one? Oh, hello, Mr. Bailey. Okay, cool. All right, chat's open. Huzzah! We are up and waiting, and somebody's watching. Huzzah! If you are watching this, please jump on and say hello. Yeah, all right. So I'm getting a little cheesy with it, but I don't care. Anyhow, hey there, DMs. It's your boy. Let's see if they respond. This will be fun. I'm waving hello to you, lone watcher. I'm hoping that you will go forth and multiply as I ramble on. Yes. Where was I? I was talking about. Oh yes, other streams I'm starting up this week. So yeah, I'm calling it the Unsexy Acting Show. Once a week, you're going to get to see me do my acting career work, some of my daily stuff, some of my more weekly or even monthly stuff, because I have this long-ass list in Things, which is a great app for tracking productivity. It's also a great app to make yourself feel terrible, like you're not doing enough with your life if you keep having this list that doesn't ever progress anywhere. And I've noticed, like I said, that live streaming helps make me more focused and productive. So I'm going to take that and channel that and put that in a positive direction. And I think that I could share some of the interesting, less sexy parts of working in TV. Because I think... Woot! Hey, Blake! Oh, I gotta reply to you directly on... because I'm replying on 2 channels right now. Whoops. Anyhow, so Blake, good to see you, bud. We'll get into this stuff. We'll be getting in talking about the DM stuff in a second, but let me just finish my plugs on the other things. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to talk about casting submissions and go over some of the latest news in the trades, because it's always important as an actor to know what's going on with the trades, so I can call my reps and be like, hey, I want to get in on this. Hey, I want to work on that. What do I have to do? I'm also going to start doing the first phase of what is a quarterly project for me, and that is updating my list of target shows that I want to be on, because if you guys don't already know, and you probably don't, and that's okay, I have been out here in Los Angeles for 17 years now. I was working in trying to break into TV and film for about the first 5-6 years, and then the economic crash hit, and I wound up surviving on credit cards and unemployment for a couple of years, because, you know, life's like that sometimes, and spent a long time getting out of that hole that I got dug into. And a couple of years ago, bought my own business. I own a small theater in Koreatown that I use that I rent out to people. You can check it out at studio-stage.com. Would love to have folks who are local and creative come in and rent the place for film shoots, auditions, or rehearsals. Right now, that's what we could book during the pandemic. And after getting that up on its legs, I really started working on breaking into TV and film again. Was even working on a couple of shows earlier this year in non-speaking capacities. But, you know, I worked on Penny Dreadful City of Angels, and got seen for, got out and auditioned for a couple of different shows, including not How to Get Away with Murder. It's the one where it's the 3 wives in like over 40 years. I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's on CBS. And was getting out and doing stuff, and then hey, pandemic hit, and that's when I turned to y'all here. So I don't want to lose all that momentum. I think that it would be fun and interesting to maybe give you guys a peek into what I do every week. And of course, we have the fun opportunity to share an analysis of everything that Disney just dropped last week, because what I want to do is everything that the stuff I want to be on specifically is pretty much everything that they talked about. I'd love to do an MCU show or shows. I would love to do anything Star Wars, and there's plenty of opportunity there. And although I'm probably not British enough for that, but hey, worth a shot anyway, right? And of course, the other big franchise I would love to be a part of somehow is Star Trek. And between Discovery and the forthcoming Captain Pike spinoff, and the rumored Section 31 spinoff, and all the other animated series that they just announced, and all these other things that they got going, between Lower Decks, which is like the deep cut Star Trek reference show, which I think is hilarious and awesome. There's tons of opportunity out there. They've got the new show with Captain Janeway coming back. Rumor has it that Cisco might be coming back for a show, and then of course there's Picard. It's all the greatest hits. Everything old is new again. And I'd be here for any of that. So yeah, that's the dream. Putting it out there. That's the dream that I'm chasing. So crossing my fingers. I could even cross my fingers doing the Vulcan salute. How many people could do that? Probably a lot. And that's what I want to work on. But you guys aren't here to see me work on that today. That's tomorrow. And then Wednesday, I'm going to take a couple of hours and just put on some lo-fi hip-hop beats and turn on my webcam and share my screen. And y'all are going to watch me work on the libretto to my new musical that I have been very terrible about writing for the last couple of weeks, because life is overwhelming sometimes. But I really need to get back on that. Mike, my writing partner, if you're watching this, Mike, you have been a patient saint, and I appreciate you. But I will be taking some time on Wednesday to work on the pages, to finish revising the pages that I started that are now like a month overdue. And we're going to get those knocked out. And then we're going to pick back up steam. And we are going to finish Act 2 of the Monstrosity, the show that we are writing. We're going to finish Act 2 of the libretto. My goal is to have it done by New Year's. And then after that, Act 3, hopefully we get that knocked out in January, and we do another reading, and I would love to stream that for y'all. The Monstrosity is a musical comedy, basically about what happens, what is the Odyssey type journey that a pair of monsters go on when they get kicked out of the dungeon that they used to live in. Their names are Brick and Brack, and yeah, they get fired because they don't kill enough invading adventurers. And then they get exiled to the surface, and it's so far it's pretty irreverent, lots of fun, but we're throwing in just a dash of social commentary because there is a lot there, and yeah, it's great. It's going to be snarky as hell. We're having a blast writing it. It's just that creativity in quarantine has been very difficult, and honestly, trying to get my hustle up here with Mastermind has also been a lot. So speaking of Mastermind, let me do some shameless plugs here real quick. You can book me to Dungeon Master, to DM a game for you. I have 2 one-shots running right now, or that I have available to run right now. One of them is called The Bard Brigade Solves Mysteries. This is a really, really fun adventure. It's about 2 hours long. It is perfect for newish players or players that are more experienced, but it's as you get the kind of sense of looking at the graphic here, it's a little bit like Scooby-Doo or Josie and the Pussycats. Basically, you know, you are a traveling troupe of bards, like a rock band, going around in your own mystery machine van, and you wind up getting embroiled in a different weird-ass mystery every week. And yeah, this is available to run as an ongoing campaign, but the first episode is, I've run it once already, and it's been a lot of fun. This is for fun, quirky personalities who really just want to jump in and have like a light, fluffy tabletop role-playing experience that's a lot heavier on the role-play and not so heavy on the die rolling. Those are the games I kind of like to run anyway. That's kind of more my style, is more RP oriented than dice rolling oriented. Don't let the Monday night game here fool you. The other game that I have running is a introductory one-shot. This is an hour-long one-shot adventure that is perfect for first-timers. It is called Jailbreak, as you can see. And in Jailbreak, you are in jail. I even have a chart that I have created that decides what you're in jail for, who has you, and what you need to do to escape, and what you need to recover, what was taken from you as evidence that you need to recover before you can leave. And you know, so it's a little bit different. I have everybody roll a d6 at the top of the session, and one die roll answers it for the whole party. I have my first session of this booked for this Friday evening at 6 p.m. my time, so I'm very, very excited to finally get to run this. This one's a lot more of like a 1 hour long escape room with some virtual escape room with some D&D combat and stuff thrown in there. But like I said, it's a little bit more puzzle oriented. It's kind of specifically designed for folks who have never picked up a D20 before, and it is for folks who would perhaps look to be getting into role-playing for the first time, aren't quite comfortable with making funny voices yet. But it's just to give them a sense of like how the game works. So there will be, you know, they get to experience all 3 pillars of D&D and get through all the basics. And, you know, give it a try. And it's an hour-long session. Right now, you can book either of these games, either Jailbreak or Bard Brigade Solves Mystery. You could book me for either of these games for free. How, you say? Well, that's a great question. We at Mastermind Adventures, here, I'll pull it up, are running, I'll put it in the chat even. How about that? Let me do that. I'm going to put it in the chat here for y'all. We are doing a special seasonal offer right now called the Month of Magic Mistletoe. I believe, oh, there we go, is what they're calling it. It is the most wonderful time of the year, celebrating the end of 2020 by giving away free one-shots and offering the gift of deep discounts on campaigns and weekly subscriptions. Plus, we're working on a very special charity event to ring in the new year. I will talk about the charity event in a second because I'm one of the folks working on that and developing it, but we are doing a New Year's Eve game benefiting Extra Life. More on that in a moment. But if you come down here to the one-shots, you see you could book Jailbreak, you can book Bard Brigade. You come down here, you click on either of these, you use the code free one shot. You don't have to pay to play, but I get paid to run it. So this is a win-win. So if you've ever wanted to try D&D in a very low stakes, fun environment with a DM who specializes in DMing for new folks, please, you take this opportunity. Come to mastermindadventures.com/magicmistletoe. Yeah, I kind of love to hate and hate to love that pun, because it's just so painfully delicious. It's not showing up in the chat. I'm going to see if I can fool the filters here. No. I'm getting filtered on my own stream. This is amazing. Okay. I will have to turn down the sensitivity on that. But as I mentioned, it is... You might be able to see it right here. Yeah, you might be able to see my address bar. Yep, you can kind of see my address bar in the stream. It is mastermindadventures.com/magic mistletoe. Click on that. Use the code FREE1SHOT. Book me for Jailbreak. Book me for Bard Brigade Solves Mysteries. Or you can also get half off an open multi-week campaign with me using Ho50. My campaign is not up here yet from the looks of it, and that's totally fine. I'm a little late getting my product copy in on that, but I will do that as soon as I'm done here. But I will have Ravenloft, the classic i6 Ravenloft. I ran it as a one-shot for Halloween as a variation called Strahd Must Die Tonight. But if you want to take the time to experience Barovia in the way it was originally intended, please book me for the original i6 AD&D Ravenloft. I promise I won't bite, but Strahd might. And that's going to be up on here with Ho50. Also, any of these other games that are up here, Waterdeep Dragon Heist or Icewind Mail, any of these games are also run by some of the other incredible DMs that we have here at Mastermind, and you are welcome to check out any of these games. I mean, definitely get Bard Brigade and definitely get Jailbreak, because I got to pay rent, you know. But any of these games run by any of the other capable DMs that we have here are all really fun experiences, and they're worth checking out. My multi-week campaign, Ravenloft, will be up here. I'm also looking at starting a West Marches campaign, so if anybody who's interested in a little bit more sandboxy, open world style campaign where you can book me on the fly. I just need 48 hours notice to be able to prep things, but open world, really, you know, in-depth, persistent world with up to 50 players within it. I would love to run something like that. I'm actually setting that up right now. I believe I'm going to call the world Noros, something I'm working on. I've got the world map all figured out, and I'm just trying to figure out what the heck happened and why y'all are out on the frontier, and just get the little bits of it started. I'm very excited about where that's going to go, though, so this is something worth checking out. So if you guys are interested in checking out Noros, as soon as the listing comes up here, you'll be able to do things like get 25% off a weekly subscription for 3 hours of games using Holidays 25. This will be a lot of fun. I want to run as many games as possible, mostly because I love running games. Oh, and let's talk real quick about the final countdown. Yes, the final countdown. Yeah, watch my stream get pinged for copyright now. The final countdown. This is a New Year's Eve mega epic adventure that we are putting together. There's a team of dungeon masters at Mastermind. We are teaming up to write a multi-table, multi-party epic adventure. 24 players. Saving the world of Faerun from an oncoming asteroid. Think Armageddon, but then there's a plot twist. Because of course. And it's going to be awesome. It's benefiting Extra Life. And it's going to be live streamed on New Year's Eve. And you have to save the world by midnight, or else, you know, the world of Toril does not get a New Year's. Ooh. It's going to be fun. Midwinter's Eve, they discover that an asteroid is coming directly at the planet, and something must be done now. So yes, this is going to be awesome. We have got people messaging me. Okay, cool. We've already we're trying to raise $3,000 for Extra Life. Right now we're at 605 so far. So yes, you can come to the Magic Mistletoe page. You can register to play at this event. We are looking for 24 players for this epic adventure. It is going to kick ass. I should know. I'm designing it, or I'm co-designing it with 3 of the other DMs here at Mastermind, one of whom actually writes adventures for the Adventurers League. So I'm kind of working with some pros and ringers this time around. I'm very, very excited about that. Yeah, so if you are interested in checking this out, Thursday, December 31st, 6 p.m. to midnight, it's going to be excellent. We will be make a donation to register for the to register for a seat, and then we will be fundraising throughout the stream as well to hit our goal of $3,000 to benefit Hasbro Children's Hospital in Providence. I'm incredibly excited about this. I think this is going to be epic, and not just because I'm helping write the adventure, but because I'm going to be one of the DMs for it. I don't know if I'll be DMing a table. I might be support staff on this because, like a true theater person, I'm building something that we joke that we're building something that's going to be so complicated that we can only run it ourselves. It's sort of like you could talk to any of my producers or stage managers anytime I design a light plot for a show that I've written or directed. It typically gets so complicated that only I understand the intricacies of the timing and can be the only one to get it right. So ultimately, I'm going to have to run this myself. So I might be support staff on this just because we've come up with something so crazy, so epic. Yeah, it's going to be great times. Yes. Now then. Oh, that's right, because I'm clipping highlights. I'm like, oh, there's a highlight of my... Yeah, I clipped that. Okay, I need to relax. More coffee. Anyhow, let's get to the DM prep. Only, 30 minutes into the stream, let's finally talk about what we're here to talk about. Blake, I see that you're here today still, man. Thank you so much for joining me, watching on YouTube. You've run this game before. Have you caught up with the stream this week? And okay, hold on one second because I left the hardcover over there. Let me grab it real quick. Finely tuned machine. But yes, this is the adventure that we're running. And I also am going to pull up the PDF of the original Dragon magazine just to do some reference stuff here with y'all. Trying to, and we'll be caught up by tonight's show. Good man, thank you so much. Just so you know, where they left off last week was they had just found the elevator shaft, and they found that the elevator was coming up, and it was occupied. So I gotta remember to take a second and drink every once in a while. It's tough when I'm the only one talking, so if you're watching, please join me and Blake in the chat here, whichever platform that you're on. Let's see. I'm going to pull up. And I got somebody watching me on Twitch. Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Twitch person, for checking out this stream. It's so wonderful to have people checking this out. Great times ahead indeed. Yes, so as I mentioned, Blake, yeah, they found the elevator shaft. There are a couple of half-orcs coming up said elevator shaft. They are in... I have, of course, taken the time. Yes, absolutely. We should talk about that ogre, by the way. And by the way, let me also mention, spoiler alert. I mean, I recognize that this campaign is 20 years old. This particular book has been out since 2007, but the original started getting published in 2003. So almost 20 years old, 17 years old. But if you are first off, this is incredibly hard to come by now. Apparently it's out of print, and I see it going on eBay for like $200, $300, $400. So that's pretty cool to have that. Now, of course, I missed out on the Critical Role hardcover, the original one, the Tal'Dorei campaign setting, and now that is getting expensive to find. I got to track that down. Maybe I can get Matt to autograph it for me. But neither here nor there. I have taken the time to build out as many of these rooms as possible using D&D Beyond. So I'll show you underneath the underneath the hood here. If you watch us on Twitch, either at twitch.tv/GregoryCrafts or twitch.tv/MastermindAdventures, you should be able to see, with the enhanced features, you should be able to check out everybody's stats as we play, which is a really fun thing that I enjoy. The fact that I can share everybody's stats with you. Tonight, we are not going to have Katha with us, unfortunately. I love Vic. She is so busy right now with work, and because it's the holiday season and she works in retail. God help her right now with everything going on. But she works in retail at a Lowe's in Montana, and is just so overwhelmed at the moment that I'm giving her the night off. I have to... How do I not have my NPCs in here? I need to add a couple of NPCs. We're gonna reselect this then. That's what we're gonna do. Preset. Okay, cool. So we'll have Tara tonight. We'll have Birch tonight. We'll have Lorenzo. We'll have Brick. We'll have Graysoul. We'll have Wookie. Feld. No Katha. This is just so I can... That is for mechanical purposes. We will have Keegan, and Fario is absent because he is off with Katha. Bum, bum, bum. Or should I say, bow chicka wow wow, possibly. We'll see if Felian has anything to say about that, because #jealous. So... pair of hobgoblins. That's what we have. This is what they look like. Long swords, long bows. Martial advantage. So, oh, that's right. The hunting horns. Tell me more about that, Blake. Tell me more about the hunting horns. Was that something that the hobgoblins were using, or was that something that the mercs were using after you cleared out the Malachite fortress and they'd taken over? You know, I'm going to share this just because I think it's much more fun. It's more fun if you guys see what I'm talking about when I talk. Yeah, Blake, for those of you who are just like wondering who I'm talking to here, Blake is a friend of mine who I've known for 20 years. And he has run this campaign before for my old gaming group back in Massachusetts, or members of my old gaming group who have gone on and become a new gaming group with a bunch of other folks. But I still know a lot of them. Still know a lot of those folks today. Thank you to Facebook. So Blake's run this campaign, and when he found out that I was running it, he so kindly reached out, and we've been swapping notes and swapping stories and talking about the game. And he's been helping me figure out how best to torture my players here. So he's talking about how the hunting horns, he equipped them with hunting horns due to the to use them as alerts. It took the bard a few tries to master the cadence to squash the alert procedure. Smart, and that could be really something to give Tara something to do. I like that. By the way, Blake is also the inspiration for an NPC who is going to be recurring, but has shown up once or twice in the campaign already by the name of CB. He's a sailor down at the docks because Blake was in the Navy, and I just thought that was an appropriate way to throw him a nod. So I have to work on my Alabama accent a little bit better to make sure I do justice next time, because I think I switched 3 different voices for you. So let me give it a shot here. Roll Tide! There we go. I'm hoping that you're a Crimson Tide fan. Too kind, sir. Aw. Yeah, always look for it. Yes, that is very smart. We always want to keep the skills in play. We always want to keep the players engaged. And give them something to do to make them feel functional. And yeah, I feel like... Yeah, good. Okay, I didn't screw that up, because I know if I get the wrong side of the rivalry, I'll get punched in the face by somebody. So, yeah, we always want to keep the players engaged. And with a party of, well, 7 players, normally 8, it's very easy for people to get lost in the shuffle, and I don't want to have that. So the more stuff that we can have here to keep people engaged and keep people doing things and feeling useful, it makes them feel more valuable. It makes them feel like they're contributing more. That's what we want to focus on doing. So that is the name of the game, is keeping them engaged and keeping them interested and keeping them relevant and giving them reasons to feel awesome. I always want to do that. Okay. I have 3 different monitors here. I got one here, I got one here, and I got one here. And my camera's right there. So if you see me going all over the place, it's not just because I've had a lot of coffee. The Dragonborn from a war school could assist as well. Absolutely. I think that's perfect. We have 2 Dragonborn in the party. One is a paladin, one is a fighter. They joke that they don't joke. They've set it up in their backstories together that they went to war college together. And they always have stories about war college, sort of like stories like band camp, or about band camp. And yeah, they use that as justification to get away with all kinds of crazy and fun stuff. A little bit of housekeeping first. I'm going to take Volantru off of my backdrop here real quick. I have tons and tons and tons and tons of, like, literally Rubbermaid boxes of minis. And I decided that when I started doing this that I wanted to come up with... I'm not a graphics designer. I'm not a visual artist. So I don't have the ability to draw stuff. But I wanted to do something really cool. Y'all don't need to see everything on my hard drive. I want to do something really cool and give some really fun visuals for the campaign. So I busted out the little mini product photo booth here that we got when my wife had an Etsy shop. And it's been sitting and collecting dust for a while ever since she closed that up. Busted that out and did a photo session using some of my minis that I'm really, really proud of and very excited about, because it made them useful again, because I hadn't played in person in a long time. No, I want to... Come along. Come along now. There we go. And then what is the resolution on this? Say you want a resolution, well, get info. We all want to change the world. And what do I have for my... It's all the little details. 4032324, sweet. The box of shame, is that where you stick all your porn or just the gaming stuff? Let's see. I'm not streaming on the company account right now. No, I'm not taking a phone call while I'm live streaming. I will deal with you later. I don't know who you are. 4032. No. Unpainted minis, yes. 32. Yeah, I've never gotten into mini painting. I just don't think I have the... First off, I do not have surgeon's hands when it comes to the steadiness required for the fine detail. I have way too much caffeine in my system at any given moment, so the idea of me trying to paint anything with such fine detail, not a good idea. So I have spent a truly sickening amount of money over the years. Not just on books. I mean, that's pretty much every 5th edition supplement right now, except for Tasha's, which my copy arrives Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. Very excited to finally get that. But also... No. Damn it. But I used to buy tons and tons and tons of the pre-painted minis. I was kind of hooked on collecting them for a while. I mean, better this than drugs, right? At least that's what I tell myself. But, I mean, in truth, drugs are probably a cheaper habit to have than minis. So, we've got our Lareth the Beautiful. The other thing is that, yeah, looking at this, it's like, damn, I wish I could do a better paint job than this, because, boy, is his face messed up. But, I don't know. There's a charm to it. I dig these. I love them. I'm very happy to have so many of them. and being able to do a really fun photo shoot using my game mat and my infinite background. And just shot this on my iPhone, by the way. This is my I shot it on my iPhone 12, 11. I don't have the 12. I'm probably gonna skip the 12 and probably just save it for the 13 or whatever they're gonna call the 13. But yeah, just shot this on my iPhone. Really nice fidelity here. Low res for some folks, but you know, good enough for my purposes here. And really captures a lot of detail. Didn't even use portrait mode. This is just straight up normal photo shooting. But yeah, if these gorilla mitts can do it, I promise anyone can. I appreciate that. I think I also just I hate painting in general. Like, I won't even paint a set at my own theater because I just can't stand painting. So I just don't know if I've got the patience for it. But I'm always impressed by people who can do it, and I do enjoy pretty things. But I also, if I could buy it out of a box and save myself a lot of time and effort, I think I just have to split, pick my poison and see where I want to spend my money. Oh, really? Okay. Maybe we could save that. This is your mage killer then, right? That's fun. I dig that. Yeah, I love the fact, by the way, that Blake, when you ran this, you took one of the 3 town guards that they fought in the beginning and made them kind of like a recurring villain that's now set to come back and go after the PC that crippled him. So that's very exciting, and I really want to hear stories about how that goes. Has that happened yet, or are you still working on it? Is that still in the works? In progress. Awesome. All right. Well, then, in the off chance that Mark or Viv or Rubio or someone or anybody who's actually affiliated with the game, like maybe Paul, see this stream, I will stop talking about it for the moment because I don't want to spoil your game for anybody. I'm muted. How did I get muted? All right. That's random. Did I lose you guys at all? Huh. Anyway. Well, that's annoying. What did I do with my chat window? Still hear you on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I think I unmuted myself, but never a dull moment. Always complicated. Always something. Yeah, we're just gonna redo the alignment on this. I'm gonna put this here. I need to just be able to lock my screen once I have all the elements in place. That'd be great. Because I mostly just do a simple screen share in OBS because OBS is really intensive on computer resources, and my 2015 MacBook struggles. It gets a little struggle bus with things. All right. So let's just do some housekeeping real quick. I have a party of... Oh, yes, we're in the Malachite Hold tonight. I am thinking that we'll get about... I always prep about 4 or 5 encounters in advance, and we usually only get through 1 or 2, but I don't ever want to under-prepare, because if I under-prepare, I guarantee you that they're going to get through it. But we've had a lot of fun with the role play over the past couple of weeks. We have a unlikely love triangle blooming. An unlikely bisexual love triangle happening within the campaign. That all started out as a joke, and I'm just kind of seeing how far we could take it. I haven't even decided how it's going to go yet, but I am having a lot of fun flirting back and forth with Katha and Fario. With Victoria, who plays Katha, being an old friend of mine, we can get away with the kind of stuff because, theater people, it's easy for us to, we know each other's boundaries. Speaking of which, I should mention that later on this week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, on Twitch TV, there's going to be a a Mastermind Roundtable coming up. If you haven't checked out this series before, there have been 2 episodes previous where GMs from Mastermind Adventures get together and talk about a hot topic of the day. Some of the ladies who are our GMs here are getting together to discuss romance in tabletop RPGs and handling all that. So I'm actually technically the host of that one. I'm mostly just going to be there to moderate and make sure that the stream is up and running. But I'm going to sit back and listen and lurk and just participate in the conversation, asking a couple of questions here and there, and just let them, talk all about it, because I'm going to be taking some notes, since Victoria isn't going to be here tonight. We'll just seed a couple more, seeds of doubt, and let Felian, my poor NPC, kind of steam over the idea that his boyfriend is off traversing with some trollop, as he puts it. This will be a lot of fun. And, but yeah. So, getting back to the game. Let's show you where they're at right now. Right now, the party is sitting in... Because I should actually do my prep, which is the whole point of this podcast, or, vlog, stream, whatever it is to actually get my DM prep done, so I'm not flying by the seat of my pants like I might have done once or twice during these game sessions, because it gets complicated, and your players always throw you a curveball out of left field, and suddenly you are dealing with a whole bunch of things you didn't expect. The only time I really feel like I've been confident... Neat that you made them a couple versus... Yeah, well, but that's the fun part about these characters, is that, they give you just enough in the book to figure stuff out, but then you can flesh them out however you like. And I just love hearing what other people do with them. Blake here turned them into adopted children of a steel dragon to use as his knowledge collectors. My players still haven't figured out one of the big secrets about them yet, and that's the their special connection. I keep hinting at it, nobody says anything, so I don't know if they've just figured it out and they're rolling their eyes because they don't know, or because they just think it's a hilarious bit. But anyhow, prepping the game. Okay. We have them in J63 right now, or actually most of the party. This is where we left off last week. Party's hanging out here. The elevator is about 50 feet down and rising. And they just discovered that the elevator has hobgoblins in it. The question is how many do we want to have in there? The book specifies 2, but 2... Yeah, no, that's true. That actually makes that makes sense. Finishing those sandwiches and sentences, yes. Yeah, and I'm gonna be interested to figure out, or to think what they it did lead to the great bit where, when Tara's like, I think they're gonna make out, and then later on, a couple of sessions later, when we had that cutaway scene, Fario looks at Kathleen and is like, I think they think we're gonna make out. And they just haven't quite figured out why he knows that yet. So that's always entertaining. I'm really, really excited to see that pay off. And I'm glad that Vic and my wife are friends too, because that makes things a lot easier when it comes to, like, what are you saying to these people? But yes, in the elevator shaft, the book specifies that there are 2 hobgoblins. And it's cool that they're in there. I want to see if maybe we want to beef this up. Now, 2 hobgoblins in 3rd edition 3.5. Yeah, 2 versus 8 is going to be a curb stomp. Absolutely. What I could do... And I mostly have Felian and Keegan are hanging back because I don't want to have my NPCs stealing the show. I only did that once in a moment that I thought really befit it, when my poor gnomish wizard finally, who had been casting True Strike, who had spent the first round of combat casting True Strike, and then by the time everything got back around to him, the fight was over. he finally got one off and saved his nephew, the hostage. And boy, oh boy, did the PCs not like my poor forced into a devil's bargain NPC. Man, they like to ride him hard. Do we want to do 4 of these? Let's go into the encounter builder here. We have 9 level. Yeah, and all the other thing is that my guys are all leveled up now. They're all level 3. So yeah, 2 hobgoblins is going to be an utter curb stomp. So let's take a look at this and see. Let's edit this. All right, 3 is an easy fight. 4 is a medium fight. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I don't want to have my NPCs ever pull the focus, and yeah, and I don't ever want to have the NPCs pull the focus away from the players, because this is the player's story. But when they come dragging this guy in and literally force him down to the dungeon at sword point, I want to give him a little something to redeem himself with, and I suppose that they're giving him their brand of justice. It's pretty funny, though, that the lawful neutral paladin has a very interesting interpretation of lawful and neutral, and I kind of dig it. It's very just like his law, feels a little bit like following his code of ethics, or else. I think if we double this up, make it a medium encounter. I also have to remember that these guys have been crawling through this dungeon for several weeks now, for several sessions now. They only just took a short rest last session, and I've made it clear that they don't have time to take a long rest. And they've gotten beaten up, and I gave them empty spell slots when they leveled up before the last session. They have empty spell slots that they can use, but they haven't had any time to take on second level spells. Yeah, I think 4 here is a good encounter for the action economy. I think you're right here, just because I don't want it to be too challenging. I don't want it to be a hard encounter or something that could potentially kill somebody. They also have the drop on these guys. Like, they literally have the high ground. And while they gave up the element of surprise completely because they dropped a torch down into the elevator shaft, and when they realized that it landed on somebody, it was like, oh, hey, oh. They got quite the unexpected reaction. And I've confirmed that they've only seen 2. So if I throw 4 in there, I think that is a legitimate choice for this, just to beef it up and make it more challenging. Because, yeah, no, 2 of them, they're going to just shoot them down before you even know it. And that's going to really ruin... Who do I want to use for my token? I'm going to use these guys. Oh, that's a little small. See, now that's smart. That's smart, but at the same time, I also I think that is a smart thing to do, to be able to have have a log and be able to track motions and stuff like that. That is a good way to do things. I probably should be doing that. Hobgoblin Warlord. Because, yeah, then that makes it a lot easier to move things around. Blake, let me ask you, how did you handle the ogre? The Otyug that was polymorphed into an ogre. I felt like that they were really just trying to nerf the 3rd edition ogre because it was too powerful for a group of level 4 adventurers, or level 2 adventurers. But it almost doesn't make sense, because no one's ever going to figure out that this was a polymorphed monster. Number 1. Number 2, if you want to throw an Otyug at him, just throw an Otyug at him. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. No, and that does make sense to keep to have that, so you can redistribute resources accordingly because of how militant they are. No, that makes perfect sense. I really, really dig that. And also because the dungeon is a living, breathing place. Or it should be a living, breathing place. I'm gonna make some new tokens here, because I really want to make these stand out. And if I get them done now, I don't have to worry about doing them later. There we go. But did you do it as an ogre or did you do it as an Atyug? Oh, -4 to attack as an ogre. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to do him as an Atyug because first off, group of seven adventurers should be able to take one of those pretty well. Yeah. Oh no, that would be terrifying to encounter. So that's kind of fun. Where he might have the penalty to hit, but if he hits you, God help you. All right. Swing and a miss. Always want to. You always feel that sigh of relief. Yeah, and I had a blast running that combat with the Dark Stalker, by the way. So thank you for the help with that. You're the one who came up with the idea for doing lair actions and legendary actions, even on a boss fight or for a sub boss. Oh, Filth Fever. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I like the fact that you took this mod and really, really made it your own. And I appreciate the fact that you're sharing your notes with me because you're giving me some fantastic ideas. Oh, thank you so much. When I was running it, I was like, oh god, it's a 90-minute combat. I hope people are still enjoying this. And at the end of it, my players were all like, afterwards, they were like, oh my god, we were on the edge of our seats the whole time. And I was like, okay, I hope that happens for the listeners too. And apparently that's the case. So I consider that a job well done. But that's the tough part is that when you're in the thick of it, it's not always easy to gauge the reactions of the room. Sometimes it's really obvious and sometimes it's not. So I'm really, really glad that folks dug it and we're having fun. And I appreciate you telling me that it was a good listen. That helps me reestablish, have some confidence in doing this more of this. Because that was a complicated combat, but I really dug it and just had so much fun running a creature that had more action economy and was really screwing with people. I just got to get a little bit better with that because I ran out of legendary actions at one point and had positioned myself assuming that I had one more, and when I checked my notes I didn't, and it was like oops, and he got. But I think the timing worked out pretty well. That was a long fight up to that point, and it was keeping everybody really, really tense and on the edges of their seats, and you can only sustain that kind of tension for so long before you have to have a break because otherwise people get really exhausted real fast. So that's just a hobgoblin, which is fantastic. Alright, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and I'll pull one right by the door here. It's so nice to not have my... Yeah, no, that's true. And yeah, with a party so big, sometimes it's really tough to get something big enough to challenge everybody, especially when you're dealing with a single monster encounter, which is why I gave him a couple of minions and gave the minion the chance to activate the pulverizer again, which Katha freaking just single-handedly just smote the crap out of it, just critical, knocking the arm off and everything else. It was just a lot of fun because it was beating up on her boyfriend. So, can't have that. Honey's got to take care of Boo. Alright, 11 hit points AC. Oh, hold on. Alright, add... technically still Zataran. If you hear any random pounding, the roof of our apartment building is currently being redone, and even with my noise-canceling headphones, I can still hear them walking around up there and sometimes pounding. So that's that noise. And then, of course, we're having an epic windstorm on top of all that, and I'm watching the door to my balcony, the sliding glass door to my balcony, bow in on occasion, even though we have it cracked. So it's like, you know. Captain in a squad of 4. No, that is a good idea. All right. So how would you up a captain? Maybe throw a greatsword on him instead of the different weapon or different style. Yeah, throw a greatsword on instead of sword and board. I like that. Or yeah, because these guys' ACs are already 18, and as we found out when they were fighting the gnomish-sized Dread Guard last week, when Lorenzo got himself caught with his hand in the cookie jar, AC 18 is tough for these guys to hit. I don't have that set up yet. Okay, well, we're gonna AC. HP. Better weapon, max HP. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I think what I'll do is I'll trick one out to be the captain that has the greatsword and max HP. Make him a little beefier. Why didn't that accept that? I was just saying how my computer is suddenly performing so much better, and now you're making a liar out of me. Alright, well, hell with that. Add character. Hobgoblin in my journal. Can be edited by me. Tags NPC. Not a monster. Humanoid's not a tag. Screw it. Select a token. Cool. And then oh, that is an interesting idea. I dig that. Even switching up the race so they can show that they're trusted by Casmogen. I got to figure out how to do a half fiend template, by the way, in 5th edition. That'll be important. By the way, Brute Squad, I hope none of my players are watching this because, like I said, this is spoilers ahoy right now. Lots and lots of spoilers for tonight's session, even if I'm only showing one encounter right now. 18, 11, 11. What race would you recommend for the captain? There we go. Now it's locking in. We're going to make the center guy here the captain. Hob, human, half-orc. I think I'm going to stick with the Hobgoblin just for thematic purposes. I feel like that Hobgoblins would respect one of their own in command much more readily than anybody else. But I might switch up some other folks. But for the moment, Hobgoblin Captain. Alright, well that's all set up, so now that's good. Alright, so if we do that, I'm going to take one away. And let's see if there's any other Hobgoblin variations in here. Hobgoblin Devastator. Hobgoblin Captain. Boom. Oh. Okay. Makes for a deadly encounter. I like deadly. Deadly is good. Let's see what the Hobgoblin Captain can do. 17 half plate, 39 hit points. That's beefy. I like that. Martial advantage. Holy crap. Alright, this is a beefy beast. Beefy, beefy beast. I like that. Yeah, I dig that. Okay. Martial might, hobgoblin virtue by physical strength and martial prowess, caring about nothing except the opportunity to demonstrate skill and cunning in battle. Military rank can attain the position by force, then hold their positions by imposing their authority through draconian measures. Okay, I like this. Okay. Okay. News break. Not something I ever thought that I would say during this podcast or this live stream, but a buddy of mine just tagged me in this news story, and I'm glad I took a second to check it out because I had a feeling, because he's just as geeky as I am. Shout out to Matt, my buddy Dex Matthews, Matt Deputeau. Apparently, Chris Pine has just signed to star in the next Dungeons and Dragons movie. Like, literally breaking news off of Deadline right now in the last 5 minutes. Dude, that's amazing. Amazing. I'm live. My DM show right now. And just shared this. Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty freaking cool. Okay, Captain Kirk is going to be in the next D&D movie. We're going to... Let's go over here real quick because, you know, I never thought I'd be covering breaking entertainment news in this show, but it's the first episode, so who the hell knows? Oh, and I will have to save this for tomorrow because tomorrow we're going to talk about that. Oh, so Paramount's producing. That's cool. Oh, see, I got all these broken images and stuff like that because my poor processor is choking on this. I can't wait to have my new streaming PC finished. I'm working on building a streaming PC right now. I'm just trying to track down one of those new RTX cards and the GeForce, God help me, trying to get one of those 3060s. There are 3060s, 3070s, 3080s. 3090s are a little too premium for me, but I would love to get a 3080, but apparently they're all sold out and we won't have more till Q1 next year sometime. Okay, so Chris Pine is close to deal to star in Dungeons & Dragons, the live-action film based on Hasbro's massive popular role-playing game for Wizards of the Coast. Hasbro, E1, and Paramount are jointly producing and financing. Okay, I knew there was a D&D movie in the works. And hopefully this won't be just another sci-fi movie of the week like the Book of Vile Darkness was or some of the other ones. I mean, I remember seeing the original D&D movie in theaters, in costume, opening night, the one that had Marlon Wayans, and was like, that was okay. I remember feeling kind of let down by it. Hopefully this is something where they can take the established stories within the Forgotten Realms and do something really fun with it. I would also... I feel like that D&D would be a much better TV show than a film. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments here. But who thinks that D&D would be better as a movie or better as a film? I mean, I like the idea of doing it as a TV show where it could literally be just like an ongoing campaign, or even serialize it like American Horror Story and do a new campaign with new characters every season. I mean, that to me feels much more D&D and makes more sense. Yeah. That makes sense to me, to do it as a TV show. But if they want to do... Yeah, no, exactly. New season, new thread. I mean, because that's much more the spirit of the game. You can get away with a lot more. You can cover more parts of the realms. As characters get popular, you see which one takes off on social media. You could bring them back in future seasons. I mean, there's just more to it. 1 2-hour movie does not encapsulate D&D. Or like Fargo and Tangent. Yes, precisely like that. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And you could set it up where it could even be like the current series of updated modules with Storm King Thunder and Tomb of Annihilation, where you have the Arctis Cimber the Ring of Frost, Ring of the whatever going on. That supposedly, I think it wraps up in Icewind or Rime of the Ice Maiden. I haven't read Rime of the Ice Maiden yet, even though I've got it. Just got it recently. Got it on Black Friday. Yeah, it's on my shelf back there. But you can have seasons that cover different adventures, and you have a thread that's kind of going throughout, and then you have like your 5th season be the wrap up where it all. The Ring of Winter. Yes, thank you. I knew it was Ring of something cold. Yeah, if you have the Ring of Winter and Arc December, you have that as the ongoing plot thread that finally gets its own season in the end, and you've already had all the characters established, and you can kind of kick that season up a notch. Because one 2-hour movie does not do this justice. That being said, it wouldn't be the first time that a franchise starts off with a movie and then gets a long-running TV series. So maybe, just maybe, I should dust off my series Bible for a Forgotten Realms TV show that I was writing back 15 years ago. And, knowing what I know now about TV, maybe write a pilot. I'll chalk that up along with the web series that I want to write and the 6 other plays that I've started besides the Monster Odyssey. Why not? Why not? Because it's quarantine right now. I could probably bang out a pilot in a couple of weeks. God damn it. I'm going to do this now, aren't I? It's just another project. Okay. But this is pretty cool, though. Direct the script they've written based on a draft by Michael Giglio. First quarter of next year in Belfast. They were hired off the dark comedy Game Night. Yes, might as well do what we love. No, it's so true. Especially in quarantine right now when we have the opportunity to do so, may as well be doing what we love when we have the time to do it. Completely agree. I shouldn't shame myself for being ambitious. I should shame myself for not following through on my dreams. That's if you're going to shame yourself for something, let's do that. For first quarter next year in Belfast. We're hired off the dark comedy Game Night, and after scripting Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay, so these guys actually have a good pedigree. Game Night I have not seen, but I'll put it on my list of things to check out. And I loved Spider-Man Homecoming. Really, really did. E1, Hasbro's entertainment arm, producing the deal. Mounting a screen version of D&D has been a battle, including several years in the courts over a rights dispute, which, yeah, after Book of Wild Darkness, that's the whole reason why you didn't see a new movie for a long time, is because the rights were all held up in a legal dispute. And New Line tried several incarnations, including one with Lego Batman Helmer Chris McKay. Video game and live stream entertainment on Twitch and YouTube, like this show. Awesome. And Brutes in the Shackled City, tonight at 7. Shooting the Liverpool. Oh, okay, cool, yeah. I wonder what Chris Pine's going to be playing. I wonder if they're going to be going with something like, original in terms of characters, or if they're going to have some iconic characters of the realms or whatever other universe they set it in. I mean, I imagine that if this is being produced by Hasbro, that they're going to do as many product tie-ins as possible, so it's probably going to be Forgotten Realms. And it's probably going to be... And not Matt Damon is really good also. I auditioned for a role once called Not Matt Damon. Jesse Plemons. Yes, very much not Matt Damon. Let's just show you that. Yes, very not Matt Damon. I mean, just look at that. Oh, engaged at Kirsten Dunst. Not bad. Good for you, sir. All right. I have to sit and watch Game Night, but yeah, that's eerily close. I have to sit and watch Game Night now, but that's really cool that they have a little bit of that pedigree that these guys worked on an MCU movie already. I like their style. I did like Homecoming. I thought that for as much craziness as they pulled off, that it was a story that moved along real well. Everybody was motivated, and it was interesting, and I enjoyed the twists and stuff like that, and I really liked what they did with it. So, I already have faith in this, that this could be something really, really interesting. Very cool. yeah, so we will keep an eye on that. And as soon as I'm off of here, I'm going to email my manager and my agent and be like, hey, what's up? It's your boy. Submit me on this when the breakdowns come out. Because if they're shooting in Belfast in Q1, well, Q1 starts in 2.5 weeks. But hey, you know what? Screw it. If there's a breakdown out there, I want to get submitted on it. So I'll email my reps. Not what I expected to be talking about on this show today, but hey, let's get back to work. But I shall dream of casting opportunities later. Let's see if I can find some good art. And let's make some tokens. Already using that one. A little too Eastern inspired. I like this one. A little small though, a little low res. It's a bugbear. Well, I could just use the old 3.0. Need a Southern Dwarf. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Especially if you keep that beard growing out. It'd be perfect. I need something high res. Tools, size, large. Got that. Already using that one. That's an arcane trickster. That's a hobgoblin wizard. Okay. Yeah, too small. No. What was the one that I had just a second ago? Damn it. This one. Okay. So yeah, I feel like this is so much of what I do in prep these days. It's just making tokens. Oh no, wrong upload. And where's my file? And of course, I do a search on Hobgoblin on my hard drive, and everything comes up from the pop-up venue that I've run over the last couple of years in Hollywood, the Hobgoblin Playhouse. Should think of my search phrases more carefully next time. Oh, look at his crotch right there. That's all that's coming up right there. There we go. Oh, sexy, sexy. Love it. All right, download that. Cap. Sweet. I'm going to sub this guy out. Not when I'm streaming. I will not answer the phone when I'm streaming. Okay. AC. Yeah, I don't think too many people realize just how much prep goes into a game. I mean, just the amount of prep work that goes in. It's true. It isn't sexy, but needed all the same. I realize that you're probably talking about my beard comment with that, but that is also germane to our current level of conversation here. All right. Add character. Craig. Brick doesn't need to edit that. Throw that up there. Save changes. Yeah, no, that makes sense, because typically it's like I always feel like it takes about double the amount of time to prep a session. Double the length of the session to prep a session. I really have to fix that Twitter notification when my stream goes out, because it says that we're playing brutes right now. We're not. My players are going to be like, what's going on? How am I missing a session? You're not. It's okay. I have to remember to get in there. And, because I run my stream through a splitting platform, I have to remember to get into each platform individually and doing some and change some of the settings every time I go out. And it's just like, it's another damn thing I got to do. All right, 17 AC, and then 39 HP, 39 HP. And then come on. Sweet. Okay. He's got javelin. Leadership. Recharges after a short or long rest for 1 minute. The hobgoblin can under special command, warning, or whatever to non-hostile creatures. Oh, wow. Okay, so it gives, basically, it gives guidance, but to more than that. Okay. I need to remember that. Great sword, melee weapon to hit, reach 5 feet, 2d6 plus 2. No, I dig it. All right. Cool. So that's working. Okay, so that's the first encounter. And then with that, our first encounter is ready. These guys will probably, I imagine that this fight, this encounter, and any subsequent interrogation shall take the party through the first half of the session. Knowing how this goes, knowing how they work, this will take about the first half of the session. And then in that case, they're going to wind up going down, down, down into the Malachite Hold. Which I now have prepped here. Let me make sure that I have my dynamic lighting all done. I also realized that some of my dynamic lighting had holes in it in the previous map, and that got to be really crazy when I'm like, oh wait, crap, you can see that. You're not supposed to see that. I mean, Jill has already been teased in the first encounter. I might have these guys have the last laugh minted coins as treasure, because each of the hobgoblins have 10 gold. Oh, 50 silver, 50 copper. I might take that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have them stamped with the fake coins because they've been getting paid and circulated with the last laugh money. I think that's what I'm going to do with that. So they will have. I'm going to change the 50 silver and 50 copper to 5 gold, 50 copper, and the 5 gold is going to be the jester stamp coins. So let me make a note of that. I also have to sit and do the treasure update on the treasure thread that we have going in the Facebook group. Something else to do today. Carry. Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to do that. Just to especially because my players thought that, oh my God, getting served tax notices, like, what is this crap? They don't recognize the fact that it's actually going to be a thing that is recurring, that it's setting up a thread and a plot line. So having this tie into that will be a lot of fun. But yeah, because I also have to remind myself that, I have to make sure that all of my maps here are set, because of the fact that when I wasn't paying attention, some of the dynamic lighting was gapped. Oh, I can't wait. I mean, they're not gonna, that plot thread doesn't pay off till like the riot in chapter 6, right? Yeah, I think it's a riot in chapter 5 or 6, and it's just a slow bake. And then if we sweeten it up, that the last laugh is destabilizing the economy with fake coins. Ooh, love it. It's going to be so much fun when they realize just how dynamic this is, and it's going to shock them. Because I honestly think that they're not, they don't realize what they're in for, and that's good. All right, I have to check my dynamic lighting because there were holes in it last time. I have to also remember to get in to Roll20 at some point today and just take a token and wander around and see what they see. They're about, but I kept feeling more present. They knew they were the cost. Yes. Well, yeah, because when you have somebody come in that has so much money and they destabilize the economy on top of that, when all of this treasure starts coming in, that just makes it even better. How did you have them be the cause of it? Was it just that they were bringing so much more money into the economy that was causing inflation? I mean, I was never an economics major in college, but I'm sure that somebody could have some fun doing stockbroking and spreadsheets or something. Okay, I don't see any gaps in my maps here. This is all outdoors. Sweet. I should actually set up the players as tokens in here. So this way we don't have to do it in session. The more I can get done now, the less, what's that old saying? The more you bleed in training, the less you bleed in combat. And unfortunately, the map that I found for this still has the designations on it, M1, M2, etc. And that's okay. It's just I wish I could have found something that didn't have that, like the previous map. But, you know, not every... I mean, this adventure is so old that they don't have the same level of resources dedicated to it for Roll20 that newer stuff do. By saving the city, they keep talking about the danger, which allowed disguised volunteer to get... Oh, yes, that makes sense. Yes. When they lose faith in the mayor. Yeah, I like that because, you know, when there's a clear and present danger and you lose faith in leadership, that does create a vacuum and allows bad guys to do bad things. Sometimes life imitates art. All right, filled, brick, and as the mayor cracked the party filled. Yeah, No, that makes perfect sense. I like that. Oh, crap. I have these on the wrong layer. I have them on the dynamic lighting layer. No wonder I can't edit them as tokens. Token. Need more coffee. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my goal is to make Skellerang and Katha have like some sort of moment. That's what I'm trying to set up there, where he's known her for so long, and that I want them to have a grudging respect for one another. So when that happens, that's going to be really painful. And you know, I hope Vic sticks around, because chapter 4 is all going to be about that plot thread that we set up in her background, because her parents went off with Zenith's Splinter Shield, and that gets all resolved in chapter 4. So I'm hoping that she'll stick around. I know that poor Vic's been so busy with work lately, it's really tough to get out and do anything, but and I respect that, especially because she lives in a time zone an hour ahead of us, so this game starts late for her and goes late. I'm hoping that we can birch, AC. Fish fucker. Nice. All right. Yeah. Oh man, I miss everybody. I miss JR, and I miss Paul, and I miss all you guys. So, you know, I would love to get together and game with you guys again at some point. Maybe if you guys want to book one of my sessions for the holidays, let me know. You could do it for free right now. You could book either of my adventures for free. And then when I get the West Marches game going up, and when I get Ravenloft going up, those will be 50% off. All right. Well, anyhow, AC, HP. I feel like that these tools are great when they work. I feel like the tricky thing is that, you know. Oh, Paco's character bit the dust, huh? What happened there? How'd you kill him? Lorenzo, Terra. Oh, I do have them all. And Katha is not down here, and then I need Gelb's Locks. We'll put Keegan in the back here. Killed by the hyper. Okay. Yikes, that's rough. That's a hell of a way to go, getting stabbed in the chest with 3 different points. Eesh. And water room, that module was stabbed, then made a deal with the devil to come back. Yes, I want to know all about that. Oh, Blake, did you ever read the Ghost Walk campaign setting? It was a 3.0 supplement. 3.0. It was the last 3.0 supplement that was released before 3.5 came out. So it really didn't get much love. It's its own adventure and campaign setting in one book, but it's legit campaign setting. Basically, I was thinking that if I wind up having PC death, I might incorporate elements of that setting because of, you know, what we know to be the overarching plot line. I might do a little bit of Tomb of Annihilation inspired shenanigans here with death, and just because you're dead doesn't mean you actually die. That could be some fun. And then when they finally get everything resolved, anybody that is a ghost, well, I don't want to give away too many spoilers because I see that we have 2 people watching. I know that Blake is one of them. I would love to see who is joining us on Twitch here. Please feel free to say hi. You know, I promise I don't bite. So please say hello. I hope it's not one of my players. I hope it's not Amanda or somebody, because I don't want to be giving away spoilers here to my PCs before we even get going. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. G-H-I-J Keegan. Boom. I'm going to step away for 1 second just because I need to get a fresh drink here real quick, because all this talking is getting me parched and I still have a lot of work to do tonight. Non-product placement. Absolutely, buddy. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. I'm actually thinking, oh, you know, it's 12:57. Thinking about wrapping this up now, because while I do have more adventure prep to do, I also do have to do some other work stuff before the stream tonight. So probably go for another 15 minutes or so. Just talking to myself. But Blake, thank you so much for tuning in today, man. Good seeing you. Let's definitely get together more and talk more. Your insight into this adventure has been invaluable, and I really appreciate it. And please give the Mass crew my love and regards. Miss you guys. Happy holidays. Thinking of y'all. And oh, I should point out that I am wearing my... I'm getting into the spirit of things. 'Tis the season. Yippee-ki-yay. Absolutely. No, we'll talk. I promise you. This is your ASMR. Your cold beverage ASMR. Okay. All right, brother. Good seeing you. And let's keep cranking on this. All right. All right, so the elevator encounter is set. Load more. We're going to open these up because I need these character sheets out anyway. Yeah, I've got so many tabs open during this. It's amazing that my browser even manages to keep up. But this is why I need this new PC built, but I just got to get the graphics card. Okay. Oh, I designed a PC character sheet for him. That's what I did. As I did with Felian. And I leveled them up. Didn't save it. Whoops. Perfect. Okay. That's excellent. I wish I could auto-roll initiative for the players in this, but that's me. I know that everybody likes to roll theirs, and that's okay. I just always have to do that awkward round of, okay, what'd everybody get? And I can edit this where I don't have to deal with... What is an iron shadow? I have Volos. Ah, yes, the roofers are back. You know, I know this is only an alpha, but I really do like what they're doing with this. Hide character. Hide character. Pardon me. I'm trying to get this to calculate correctly. Come on. Okay, well, when we factor in the NPCs, it becomes a medium encounter. That's fair. What is... What is the Iron Shadow? Second level spellcaster. Hobgoblin monks. Okay. Yeah, not quite what I'm looking for this encounter, but still a decent option. Devastator is apparently... I'm going to add one more. Yeah, because these are just melee puppets, so it's okay if I add one more. And we'll load up Keegan. I have to figure out whose music's going to be pre-show tonight, too. I have a whole bunch of submissions from people, so that's going to be fun. And I'll do Thelian. Oh, I like that it gives me a notification that's parsed successfully now. That's great. All right. Yeah. He's all set for tonight. Yeah, because he's only been casting True Strike over and over and over and over and over again, and he's got that one casting of... oh, wait, he did Detect Magic, too. I think he's done it twice. Okay, so he's almost out of first level spell slots. All right. Yeah. I originally written up Thelian as a half-elf cleric slash fighter and forgot that it was a cleric slash rogue. And Fario's fighter slash rogue. So, yeah, he's used up his spells. You do guidance, light, and resistance. Okay. Okay. Got that done. I'll leave that up because I'll probably need it. And then he's got 14 AC, 17 HP. 14 and 21. Yeah, so this is kind of a Dungeon Master's prep job. It's just lots and lots and lots of button clicking these days. Okay, good. He's already leveled up. Perfect. Yeah, never a dull moment. Okay, so that's encounter number 1, plus getting them all set up. Let's take a look down here in the Malachite Fortress. Alright, always handy to have, move my mic, cardinal sin, but you know, it's okay. Always handy to have the DCs already calculated. So okay, so if I've got a DC, what I'm doing right now is I'm pre-calculating the DCs or converting the DCs on door stuff, because nothing's a bigger pain in my ass than discovering that the calculations for doors, or the calculations are not up to date for DCs. So games. Here we go. Now this was an interesting thing I found, was converting DCs from 3.5 to 5th edition. Somebody, of course, went and already did all the math, so that makes things a lot easier for me. There we are. Okay, so let's do some math here. So at DC 25, break DC. 5 minus 5 is 20, obviously. 4 divided by 7 times 20 is 11. So it's DC 25 becomes DC 21 if we round down. Break DC 21. Lock DC 20 becomes 15. 7 times 15. Lockpick DC is 18 for a strong wooden door. That's great. It's so important to have all this stuff pre-calculated, because when you're dealing with what I found, that the 3.0, 3.5 DCs for most skill checks are too high for 5th edition characters to hit because of the way skill points work in this edition. So I'm trying to make this fair, which means I have to go back in way in advance and redo all the DC calculations, and I'm doing them according to this formula right here because they took the time to figure out the charts. This is 3.0, 3.5, and then this is the new 5th edition one. Oh, hello, Bailey. We might have a cat visitor right now. Yeah, holy crap. They've got a DC 32 open lock challenge. Open lock skill DC 32 check. Like, no, you can't. 5th edition can't do that. So this is the importance of going in and pre-checking all your stuff and making sure that it's all already done. Because trying to do these calculations on the fly as I run into them is a giant pain in the ass. Iron door, 2 inches thick. Hardness is 10, HP 60, break, DC. It's not 28. In 3rd edition, it's 28. So we're gonna go. I always seem to put my microphone in the worst place possible to do all this stuff. Okay. 28 minus 5 is 23. 4 divided by 7 times 23. It's DC 23. Okay. Break DC is 23. Lock pick. So 32 minus 5 is 27 times 27. It's DC 25 open lock. They're still not going to hit that. I mean, Dex plus proficiency, they're not going to be able to hit that. I think the highest Dex bonus is +3. I mean, they'd have to basically roll a 19 or a 20 to do that. Okay, so they had 10% chance. Well, all right. I think that's kind of how it's supposed to work, though. So, stone secret door, 4 inches thick. And since I already did it, a break DC of 28 and 3rd edition becomes a break DC of 23 in 5th edition. That's possible. Get enough people teaming up on that, you can do that. Okay. All right. So got that converted. That's good. DC 5 climb check. M1. Elevator takes 10 rounds to get from top to bottom or bottom to top, and there's only 2 stops, so that's good to know. Or 60 seconds. Ah, that's right. There is a stone spike in area M3. Now my question is a stone spike in 5th edition? I think I had this set up here. Take a look at this. Stone Spike 5th edition. Ah, that's right. I found a Tumblr last week that had all this already converted for me, which is great. Ugly motherfucker right here, isn't it? 2 slam attacks. Now this tells me that they probably have this already imported into D&D Beyond. Somebody already has Shackled City Adventure Path set up here. That's amazing. Wonder if it's the same person. No, interesting not. Interestingly enough, not. This is a completely different setup. Huh. I like this version better. I like this version better. Not just because more HP, but because it just... Well, let's talk about converting monsters real quick. And after I have this conversation, I think I'm probably going to have to sign off because I do have other things I need to get done before game tonight. But let's talk about how to update adventures and update monsters for 5th edition. Okay. So a Stone Spike is a CR2 medium elemental. So what that means is that it's supposed to be, in 3rd edition 3.5, the theory was that whatever the challenge rating was, it was appropriate for a party of 4 to 5 adventurers of that average level. So a Stone Spike is supposed to be appropriate for an average party level of 2. We have a lot more than that here. 25 hit points, -1 initiative, AC is 18. There's a lot more to this one. This one's significantly beefier. Huh. Let's take a look at what CR2 creatures are supposed to look like. Because I'm going to do my own. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my own adaptation on the fly right now. Mets just introduced their new general manager. Gift wrap dice set. Well, that's cute. I will have to check that out. Okay. Sources. And by the way, while I am a tremendous, militant Red Sox fan, I still also love the New York Mets, mostly because I was born on Long Island, and they were my grandmother's baseball team. So I still have a very soft spot in my heart for the Amazons. Creating a monster. Dungeon Master's Workshop, creating a monster. I don't want to deal with that. +2, AC 13-ish, 86 to 100 HP, +3 attack bonus, 15 to 20 damage per round. Okay. So first off, I'm doubling the number of stone spikes here because they're going to curb stomp 1. So no matter what I do, I'm starting with, they're going to have 2 stone spikes to deal with. I think that's important. Give them a challenge. Proficiency bonus +2, armor class at 13. 86 to 100 HP. That's an awful... This is the one thing I don't get about this chart, is the hit points by CR. That's just ridiculously high. That's ridiculously high HP for a CR2 monster. I mean, just based on what I don't understand how they reach these calculations. If anybody in the chat here, or if anybody watches this later on, please comment and let me know what you think. If you even watch this long. I mean, this is a 2-hour, 9-minute live stream already. This has been going for a bit. So if anybody ever watches this far, well, first off, good on you. Creating monster stat block, final challenge rating. You know, let's do the creating a stat block. Let's try this. create from scratch. M3. Type of monster, elemental, earth. Yeah, there's no point in leaving a subtype in that because it's not listed in there. It's an original thing. This is a medium-sized creature. It's not a swarm. Does it have an alignment in neutral? Yeah. So it's a honey badger. It just don't give a thought. Okay. Yep. All right. So in 3.5, third edition, for those who are keeping track, this creature has 2 melee attacks, slams with its big stony fists, D8 plus 4. I could see how that would be a challenge for a level 2 party because that'll drop even a level 2 wizard in one shot. Listen plus 6, spot plus 4. So this is going to get a wisdom save. I'm declaring that it's going to get a wisdom proficiency and a wisdom save right now. Which is pretty funny because you wouldn't think that it would. Oh wait, hold on. 18, 8, 19, 4, 11, 11. Has an 11 charisma. Okay, so this is an average looking monster. That's not too bad. Hill, mountain, Underdark, sure. No immunities that I could see. Damage adjustments. I mean, this creature is literally stone. So you know what? I'm going to give it vulnerability to bludgeoning and resistance to piercing. Because if it's solid stone, you really got to take a hammer to it to break it. Like a rapier isn't going to hurt this thing as nearly as much. So I could give it outright. I suppose I could give it outright immunity. But that'd be kind of rough. And it does speak Dwarven and Terran, apparently. So this is actually smart enough to talk. I have to remember that. Action name. Okay, so if I look at this, quick stats, I go back up here. Proficiency bonus for CR2 creatures +2. So this has a +6 to swing. I like that. Reach is 5 feet. 1 target. Hit is 1d8 +4. Bludgeoning damage. Average damage is going to come out to be about 8, because average roll on a d8 is 4.5. That smells good.
It's an egg. Well, and bacon. The bacon.
Yeah, no, I could smell the bacon. I'm like, yeah. Speaking my language. We'll open that in a minute. Attack. Stone spike makes 2 slam attacks. I like that. No ranged attack. Makes that easier. Special traits. Okay. No spell casting, don't have to worry about that. Reactions, does not have any reactions. Let's see what 5th edition elemental traits look like. Oh, that's 3.5, not 5e. I gotta find the right material here. Yikes, okay. Exhaustion, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, unconscious. Actually, resistance is bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Oh no, that's for the earth elemental. That's not for what I'm... Yikes. Okay, that's not gonna help. Damage immunity. exhaustion, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, stunned, unconscious. All right. Petrified, poisons. Petrified, poisons. Petrified. Okay. All right, I'm going to create this now because then I can finish creating everything else about it. Doesn't have special traits beyond what is already talked about here. Now, in determining a creature's AC, one of the things that I've heard talked about is take the to convert AC from 3.5 to 5th, what you do is you take, in 3.5 they had the armor class and then they had the touch AC, which is the dex-based AC. You add them together and take the average. So that would mean that the touch AC was 10, the touch AC was 9, yo. Because it had a dex of 8. So the touch AC was 9 first off, not 10. Because there's a -1 penalty on that. So 9 plus 18 is 27, divided by 2, 13.5, round down, 13. I'm just going to rule it as 13. Passive perception of 10. Oh, so it won't let me save that until... Okay. Cool. Cool. Be that way. And I think that kind of fits because you could do these encounters one of two ways. You could either make it really, really tough for these guys to pierce the armor, or you could just give them a crap ton of hit points, so it's like it's breaking away. And I think with natural armor, you give something a relatively low AC, but a crap ton of hit points. Interesting. 68 plus 24. That's so low compared to... I mean, that's challenge rating 1/2, really. CR2 should have 86. This is why I don't get the hit point chart. I just don't get the hit point chart. Yeah, please, in the comments, if you guys understand how this works and how this is all justifiable, please, please just let me know. Alright, I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay. Yeah, does anybody else understand how they get hit points for this? I mean, this is just a little insane. $13. Yeah, well, now the size determines hit dice rather than class. It's a D8. Average hit points, passive perception. Now you can see how I suffer as I do this prep every week. Suffer racked with indecision. And I realize that I'm a lot more meticulous about this stuff than some people, but I always like to kind of craft something that's close to the original intention. We're going to make this a +7 to hit because it is actually a +3 proficiency bonus. And then +4. Oh, no, wait. +2 proficiency bonus, it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to steal this. Two. I wonder if they'll let me get away with that. It's worth a shot. Worth a shot. Okay, so the only thing I got to figure out now is the hit points. Man, everybody and their brother wants to call me today as I'm in the middle of this. Never a dull moment. Okay, well, I just want to look at something real quick. If that's what that looks like. Challenge 1 half creature has 11 hit points. $2d8. And this is a challenge 3, 68. In 2018. Okay. Well, let me take a look here. Let's take a look at official 2E monsters real quick, because I want to see what the average HP or CR2 5th edition monsters look like. Let's look up the monster manual. Loading, please wait. Good to know the roofers are doing their things. Okay, this right here, Gargoyle, Earth Elemental, 78 plus 21. But we had a CR3 creature earlier that was 68. Just doesn't feel like there's any sort of rhyme or reason. Let's see if I can find a similar article. Oh, yes, and here's the original conversion book. Let's take a look at these real quick. Just because it's interesting to look at the schools of thought on how to do things here. All the guys I'm finding say that's correct. All these other creatures have far more hit points. CR one creatures tend to have more hit points than that. Oh, yeah. Here's the quick conversion. In 3rd or 4th editions, the encounter level designated for an encounter is useful for determining the intended encounter difficulty based on the level range of the adventurer. In the case of 4th edition, the actual difficulty level should be taken to be 2/3 of the designated encounter level. For example, if the encounter level is 9 in an adventure designed Counter hard or deadly. Characters at level in the middle, suggested level range are likely to find in most challenges. Alright, so the first part of this is obviously doing class conversions. Using HD 5th edition. Well, it was 3 hit dice creature. But we've lowered the AC considerably. $86 to 100 HP. That just doesn't grok. I'm going to try something here. $24 is the average. 5 times 8. 36 and 24. You know what? Let's stick it at 51. Let's stick it at 51 HP. Or 50. Let's do 50 because 36 plus 24. We'll do a 6 hit dice creature here. Here we go. This is the tab I'm looking for. $64. Or 68 plus 4 because it's a con of 19. Average hit points. We're going to do 50. Let's create that. Let's get some art. Yeah, man. Oh, dark vision, not blind sight, and passive perception. Come on. We're going to give it proficiency in perception because the original monster had listen and spot. I'm also giving it a wisdom save. Base skill bonus. Oh, well. It's going to be 3. I also had alertness and power attack. Well, we're covering alertness by giving it perception proficiency. And then 20 feet of movement. Let's take a look at this puppy. Oh. Boo. Smart. But boo. Boo earns. Alright, I gotta take out the layer actions and regional effects, but I mean, not too bad. Medium elemental neutral. Has no legendary, no mythic actions. I gotta take all that stuff out. But I'm pretty close here. So let's make a couple of quick edits. I spend so much of my time just waiting for things to load. Alright. I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. Let's see if I can work around that. Let's get some art. Because the first one didn't download. Oh wow, this is an old edition one. Okay. Oh, there we go. Let's take a look at how it looks. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like I got that kind of figured out. I'm going to throw 2 of these at the party tonight. Because, you know, I want to give them a challenge. And if needs be, I will drop the HP down. They'll be landing a lot of hits on these guys, though, because the AC is only 13. The biggest thing is I just got to make sure I've got enough challenges, and when you have 9 characters taking actions on the good guys' side, action economy tilts so incredibly heavily to the other guys, or to the good guys, that the bad guys get steamrolled real fast. I know that this is supposed to be a lot bigger, but I want it to show up. So, yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, I feel like we have a decently created monster here. I'm going to try this guy out tonight. I may come back and make some modifications based on how he plays tonight. But I'm going to throw 2 of these at the party this evening. I'm going to share this with the community. Yeah, you know what? I'm putting this out there. I'm proud of this conversion. I think it works. Do me a favor. If you like it, drop a comment. If you don't like it, drop a comment. And if nothing else, I could use some help with figuring out the science of converting hit points. So I'm going to throw this out there. Keep forgetting that they filter Oh, that's the wrong embed. Filtering. Okay, well, I'm going to figure out how to do that, but in the meantime, I'm going to link my new stone spike in the video description. Please take a look, and apparently you can comment as well. Join us later on tonight. We're going to start streaming in about less than 4 hours now, so I have one more encounter I need to update, I think, before we get to that point. And got to go pick up my groceries, too, from the looks of it, so got to go deal with that. Yep, got to pick up my groceries. Good times. All right, so I got to go do that. But thank you for checking this out. Take a look at the stone spike. Join us tonight, 7 o'clock, as I take the brutes through the Shackled City. It's going to be fun. And until then, keep rolling 20s.